Welcome back to a Selah. Wow, I still can't believe we are in 2022. I have to check in. How are you guys doing with your New Year's resolutions? In my last Selah, I talked about encouraging you to commit to following Jesus for 2022. And this stemmed from a bold statement from Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15, where he says that as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I shared in my past Selah of my testimony with my great grandmother, and her faith and how she served the Lord. And we see it in generations, and now I witness it through my father's life. Last year, as many of you may know or may not know, my family experienced a life altering shift where we discovered that my dad's kidneys were failing because of his diabetes. But while he was in the hospital, we it changed our life till this day. And as we await for a kidney, I see my dad's faith grow each and every day. It was definitely a life change because now, he has to go to dialysis 3 times a week. And you can imagine the toll it takes on a person. But through this life altering change, it didn't deter him from serving the Lord. It actually made him serve even harder. So I see what it means for our house to serve the Lord through my parents. Even my mother being very strong, holding it all together, I see her faithfulness. And so I've always seen my parents love the Lord and live for him, but it was most evident through this change. And so before Joshua stated this bold statement in that very same verse, he challenged the Israelites. And in verse 15 of chapter 24, it says, "But if you refuse to serve the Lord, then choose today whom you will serve. Would you prefer the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates? Or will you be the gods of the Amorites in whose land you now live? But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord." Joshua had just reminded them of the history from the time God took Abraham from the region beyond the Euphrates River. He led them through the land of Canaan and multiplied his descendants to conquer the promised land. And God had given them this land, a land which they did not labor, a city which they did not build, and vineyards and olive groves which they did not plant. Joshua had reminded them of God's faithfulness, but they still fluctuated between trusting the Lord and trusting their own strength. And so we shouldn't wait till Sunday morning to choose to follow the Lord. Choosing to follow the Lord is the most important decision that every person will make. And so Jesus tells us and reminds us to take up our cross daily and follow him. And so that is what I have to encourage you today. And so if you would flip over to Psalm 23 and read that with me. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures, and he lies me beside quiet waters, and he restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For your rod and staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." So thank you for joining us, and we'll hope to see you next time. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss the video. See you next time.